Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time car show. Ron Stein is our in-studio guest today. We'll also have This Week in Auto History, I hope. And we'll get you updated on the stories making car news this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We need more, Jeff Zekin.
We do.
I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks for joining us today. Conrad's off. He'll be back next week. And in the studio today, an honored guest, Mr. Ron Stein, good friend of the show for 10 years, I guess, now.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gosh, you were 10 years younger back then.
In mind and spirit.
Yeah?
Sure.
But what is it kind of like wine? You age like fine wine?
I'd like to think that. I hope.
And you don't. And you don't.
I'm not wood in the barrel. Okay.
Is that where sourpuss came? The word
Sourpuss.
Sour wine sours.
Well, yeah, because
Could be.
once you pop the top on it, it's
You gotta drink it.
you got to
Yeah.
drink it.
Nice.
I don't know where I was going to go with that, but I'm sure it was good somewhere.
Oh,
along
I
the line.
guarantee it was good, Don. Because you only do good.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ask any of my wives how good I did.
Let me get my feet up off the ground because it's going to get deep.
Deep,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
It is.
I got
all-
my boots on.
Yeah. Well, that's good. No flooding allowed in here.
I got it.
Ron Stein. We haven't talked about Ron's cars, so Ron has a collection of fine automobilia and automobiles. And so I thought maybe before we get into that we could kind of go over the list of automobiles that you have in the Ron Stein collection. And you can start where you want.
Well, I think the easiest for me would be to go.
Just pick one.
Okay. The earliest one I have is a 1936 British Standard 9 horsepower. And the reason it's 9 horsepower is that in England at the day, they taxed you on a number of things. One was the amount of horsepower that you had in an automobile.
Are you serious? That's how they did it?
Yeah. Well, you know the term taxable horsepower.
Okay.
And that's where it came from. So if you had a Rolls Royce, okay, you were taxed on the horsepower.
Out the
of that car.
wazoo.
Yeah. So the 9 horsepower was at rest. It wasn't at speed. So there was a 9 horsepower, and then there was a Flying 9, which was a slightly more horsepower.
Put that pen down.
And actually, the term was synonymous with the taxable things. How many windows you had and closets you had in England. Well,
Wow.
that's why in England you have large rooms with chiffon and hanging closets and not a closet
Built
because
in.
because that was considered a room.
Well, you got to get
So is there
you
room?
got to give the queen her due.
Well, and the money also.
That's what I mean, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So there were many things that were taxed that you didn't realize why they were taxed. Well, this 9 horsepower built in Coventry was a beautiful car. It had a sunroof in it, a sliding sunroof, 9 horsepower. So that was one of the cars. The next one is a 1937 Ford 500 Coupe Deluxe. Rare in the sense they made a ton of them, but they were used as stock cars in the stock car racing. That was the feature.
What year is this?
1937. That was the car you liked.
Oh yeah,
because of
that's
the
that's where I
headlights.
met you.
Yes, exactly.
With it broken down on the side of it.
Exactly.
That's right. That's
Exactly.
how I met Ronnie.
Yeah, and they were used extensively for stock car racing.
Yes.
Up in Northwood, probably here. And also moonshiners, bootleggers, loved them because they had a large trunk and they had the 85 horsepower V8
And
engine.
you would be familiar with that. No, it had the flathead.
The flathead, yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 85 horsepower V8.
Yeah.
And then I have a 1956 Continental Coupe, rare car. It only made 2,800.
Isn't that the
in 2
one
years.
that somehow it had bullet holes through the hood?
Mattress Mac bought one, but he didn't want anybody at the auction to know that he was buying it. So he sent his very well endowed Dagmar type secretary at the auction, and of course everybody knew who she was. Okay, so he bought Elvis Presley's car, Mark II. was a white, triple white. And
But
the
you didn't own that.
No.
Okay,
no.
okay, all right.
But he asked me to identify it to make sure that he wasn't duped.
Yep.
Because it was the only Mark II that had a white leather headliner. And the story went, when he tried to start it one day, it wouldn't start, and he took his
Elvis.
pistol. Yeah, Elvis did it. And it shot through the hood. All right. Well, I identified the car. I saw all the numbers. I checked it had a white leather headliner. And then when I opened the hood, sure enough, right in the hood where the battery was, there was a patch underneath that it was Elvis Presley's car. So it was in a showroom on 45.
So you had one like it.
I had a coupe, yes.
Yes.
They only had made 2,800 of them. That car in 1956 was $10,000. You could buy a Cadillac and two Chevys for the price of that
I was going to
car.
say, that's really expensive.
Yeah, and we have a listing of every single owner of that car who bought them new.
Wow.
And it was like the who's who of the country.
Hell.
You know, it was like, the judges, sports figures, overseas, Shaws bought them.
The Dagmars of the time.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then I've got a 72 Triumph Stag V8 with the original V8 engine. They put actually...
Does it
Triumph
run?
it runs like a champ. It's got two carbs. They actually put two 4-cylinder engines together and made a V8.
Is that how they
yeah,
did it?
Yeah, they did it. It was amazing. I'll drive it one day here, and you can take a look at it. Two tops, soft and hard. And then I've got a 67 Studebaker pickup, Champ.
I love that Studebaker,
It
the
has
yellow one.
sliding, yeah, it has a sliding windows
Yep.
in the back. Probably the first truck that had a sliding glass windows in the back, and then it was copied by many, many manufacturers. I've got a 46 Ford Woody station wagon and a 47 Woody wagon, which is actually a Nash Ambassador. I call it my mother's nightmare and my teenager's dream because you can fold the seat back from the back of the front seat to the trunk, a complete double bed. And I've got some accessories that are kind of rare.
Well, I was waiting for you to say it. I've got some real experience back there.
Well, I never, if you pulled up to your date's house in the day, and your dad, the father looked out and said, Nash, going to the drive-in, you take my Oldsmobile. You're not going to go to the drive-in in the Nash Woody. Okay?
Well, like the Oldsmobile was much better.
Well, at least
It didn't fold out into a bed.
exactly a
I mean,
complete double bed.
It could have memory maker back seats, but it was not a bed.
And it didn't have,
Memory maker back seats.
and it didn't have the name Woody in it either.
That's yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. And I got within a month, I got two accessories for that car, which was kind of interesting.
You talk about them in public?
Yeah. I got two in the original plastic cases that says Nash double bed mattresses, unused, and two window unit screens for the back windows.
So you could hide from everybody back there.
No, not screens. These are screens that the mosquitoes wouldn't come in.
Oh, I
They
see.
weren't blackout
Bugs-
screens.
Well, you see where my mind is
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, evening, drive-in, the screens. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I've got a 56 Continental convertible Mark II convertible, but it was a one-off. It was they only made one. This isn't the one. This is a model of it, convertible Mark II. Then I have a let's see.
So
I know
do
you're
you
going to
have-
ask me the question. Where do you store them?
Yeah.
Okay. 6 of them I store at the place called the Carriage Car Clubhouse on Bingle Road, and it's just for people
I think
say
I've
you're
been there.
collectors.
I've
Yeah.
been there.
Yes, you have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's just for people like me and other people who are a little bit cuckoo. Collecting cars who want to work on them. There's a lift there, and it's clean. It's elevated for no flood. It's fenced in. You have a key to come in. You can go in at 3 o'clock in the morning. If you want to polish your car, you can do it. It's very, very large.
You know,
very
I
good.
would really worry about you going in at 3 o'clock in the morning and polishing your car. There's
Well-
some other hidden agenda there I'm not quite familiar with.
Well, when you have to get.
Have you ever done that?
I have getting ready for either a photo shoot or a car show. Okay.
Okay. Well, there's a good excuse.
That movie, the show about Christine. Christine was kept in a very similar facility where they had people that owned it, and it was a shop. It was dirty, but different than yours. But that's what that reminded
Dirty
me.
in what sense?
Dirty,
Get out of that
floors and
mode.
just dingy looking type dirty.
No, this is clean.
Yours is pristine.
It is clean. Yeah.
It is.
What about this that we're looking at there? What is that?
Oh, that is a 1946 Alvis, a British car.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. It's a British car. Today was a perfect day to drive it, being it was very.
Do you
very-
have this car?
I have it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a 3-position drop head coupe.
What does that mean?
DHC, drop head coupe. It means it's a coupe.
What is a 3-position drop head?
The top. Okay. The top goes all the way to the windshield.
And you can roll it halfway back.
Halfway, like there's a chauffeur.
And then you can all the way.
Back. Yes, correct. Yeah. So it's a 4-cylinder. It's a very sturdy car, very luxurious. I feel a little bit like a mailman because it is right-hand drive.
Oh, very cool.
Good on right-hand, turns, but left a little sketchy. It has the original trafficators, which is their term of a signal,
Turn signal.
and the arms come up and light.
Yep.
That is perfect for you.
Volkswagen vans had those.
Well, and it was called in German. It was called Machsnix.
Yeah.
Machsnix. Yeah, you up, yes, and no. Okay, and they're electrically operated, and the front looks a little bit like a Bentley. Seeing the big headlights.
Yep.
And the driving light in the center and the 2 horns. So it's a luxurious car. It's a very nice car.
Now that was taken where Keels and Wheels?
That was one of the first Keels and Wheels. Yeah, I was right in front of the
Good
clubhouse.
catch there. I recognize it now, but I didn't pay any attention before.
Yeah. I got three British cars. The 36 British Standard. Okay, I have that one. Then I have the Stag V8. Okay, and so I know about.
Do any
Lucas.
of them have any Lucas
All of them.
distributors or carburetors?
All of them.
Are they absolute nightmares like I've heard?
We call Lucas the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
That's why the Brits drink warm beer. They can't keep the refrigeration going to drink, cool beer.
What is up with that? Why were they so fascinated with doing business with Lucas when there weren't very reliable products that they turned out?
Well, it was British, and they very, very common to only use local people.
Exactly.
And he thought he invented electricity, and he thought he had the link on how to properly manufacture things for cars, and they never worked. In fact, Jaguar had Lucas when they first went to Ford, okay, and they converted it because it would never work. My 36 British Standard is 9 horsepower and Lucas 12 volt.
Oh, God.
Now, I'll tell you, on the
I'm
36
surprised it
British
hasn't burnt down.
Well, let me say this. You know the term when you dim your headlights, what's that switch called?
Dimmer switch.
Or the
Foot switch.
dip switch.
Dip switch, yes.
Okay, a little button.
I've been
on the
called
floor.
a dip switch before.
Okay, yeah, okay, all right.
Or something like that.
That's another term from the past. Okay.
Yes.
Why is it called a dip switch? Because on the steering wheel of British cars, there was a little button that said dip, and it would dip your headlight for the oncoming car.
Oh, it would
So it did.
mechanically lower the lights.
Well, rather than have a simple 2-filament bulb,
Yes.
like you would normally think, gee, we'll put a 2-filament bulb, and we hit that switch, it would lower it to 1 filament, which would make it lower intensity. No. When taking apart the headlight, they had a complete electromagnet in the housing of the headlight. And when you hit the dip switch, it would actually dip the entire reflector on springs down
Oh,
and
Lord.
up. Yeah, oh, Lord is right. Okay, so typical Lucas, okay? You would think 2-filament bulb would be perfect. Okay, when it burns out, you just
So let me
replace the
ask
bulb.
you, is that what you have in this particular model car of yours?
Yes.
And
Yes,
so,
46.
so clearly you have taken this apart and tried to.
I wanted
repair-
to see what the dip switch actually did.
Yeah, tried to
Yeah.
de-dip it.
Now, once you took it apart, were you able to put it back together?
Yeah, it's very simple. It's an electromagnet with 3 springs, okay?
And it
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Sort of like putting in a Hurst shifter.
like a Hershey in a Corvette.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
No, it's not like that at all.
Talking about that, let's talk about car clubs for 1 minute.
All right.
There are now car clubs that specialize in, if you have a car with a manual gear shift, that's the club. People who have manual gear shifts, okay, are special because they know how to work the manual gear shift.
Speaking
Okay?
of which, I think it was Conrad that posted on Facebook a picture of a valet sign where in front of some business that said, "No manuals allowed," because
exactly.
nobody knows how to use them.
Well, it's a great insurance thing as far as
Theft. It's a theft deterrent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not going to steal it. 'cause
They
can't
look at the
drive it.
thing and they go, "What the hell's this?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't start it. Yeah, what am I going to do here?
Or 3 on the tree. You know, you say 3 on the tree. They go, "What's that?" They said, "Well, your shift is on the steering column."
And half the time
Okay.
they hang it in neutral first time they try
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So that's some of my cars. I got a few other cars.
But
I got 12.
Candace Thackeray Sneed wants to go for a ride in that one that we had up there on it.
No problem. No problem.
So
So there
Candy,
you
I've
go,
taken.
Candace.
You know what? I've actually taken 3 couples who got married and were asked to have this car, me drive it from the church to the reception.
Did you wear a little black hat?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
do you have
should
one of those
have.
black hats?
You know, I don't. I should.
Well,
I
for
should.
your
You would look
consolation,
good in that.
your consolation prize today for coming in with a little black chauffeur's cap.
Perfect. I knew there was a donkey in this
Consolation.
pile. Yeah. Okay.
And the word of the day is
Dagmar. Perfect.
See, I learn something every time I get together with you. I always learn something new.
Wealth of
I've
information.
heard of Dagmars, but now I know what a Dagmar is, or
And-
Dagmars are.
And you actually confirmed.
I did through Wikipedia. God bless Wikipedia.
See that? They know. They knew about
It's
it.
on
You
the
didn't.
internet and Wikipedia. It's got to be true.
Exactly.
It's got to
Exactly.
be.
Right. And something Don did not know about.
Well, I knew about them, but I didn't know that they had a name.
All right.
But
And there was a person.
and a person that was attached to them, so to speak.
Well, no, really attached. Yes.
Very.
And
Yes.
the way that you have to say it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have to say it
Dagmar.
properly.
Dagmars. Well, I find that very interesting. I also find it interesting that the majority of your collection seems to be British cars.
Oh, no, only 3.
Well,
I've got 12. So only
okay,
3 are. Yeah.
a fourth of them.
Yeah.
But
Well,
why?
because there were, the 36 British Standard was I bought it at a garage sale a block from my house, and my son and I pushed it into, my driveway.
Repair shop.
Yeah. And my son, okay, Dad, when are we going to put the small block Chevy into it?
You're going to make an
I don't
LS
think
out
so.
of it.
Yeah, right. I said, I wonder where he got that idea from. I wonder how that evolved.
Well, I hope that
mother.
you didn't do that.
Of course not.
No, he got it from
Of
his
course. But
mother.
now, the boys are older, and they say, Dad, you didn't retrofit any of the cars that you have as far as the you used to have the Woodies, don't you? I said, yeah. Have you changed the engine? No, they're all natural. They're all original. They said, Dad, they're worth a lot of money now that they're original. I
As
go,
long as you don't jack with them.
yes. And I go, gee, that's a great idea.
I wish I would have thought of
Well,
that.
yeah, gee.
50 years
yeah,
ago.
Exactly. Yeah,
No,
right.
I tubbed it out and put an LS in it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. And I appreciate the LS conversions. I really do. I mean, if that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
that's fine. But I also think that there is a huge market and certainly worth more money if it's original.
No question
For
about it.
most cars. Now, if you buy some hunk of junk that's not worth anything and you put an LS motor in it, well, the only thing that you've lost really is all the money that you spent on the LS motor.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also, people ask me, what's your favorite car? And I say, the one that I want to drive starts.
That's always a
You
good
know,
thing.
use it.
Yeah.
You know.
By the way, have you had the 37 Ford crap out on you on the side of the road like it did when I met you that day?
Don, I still have a problem with it overheating.
Really?
I really have to get the engine out and actually clean out the interior of it, as the guts of the engine, because I think rust has invaded the
Started clogging it up.
clog-
flush
Water
it out.
jackets and things.
water
yeah.
jacket and
There's not a
radiator.
radiator problem.
It could be both. Could be both. So I'm going to do the whole
Yeah.
thing. You know, I mean, it's a reliable car.
Well,
It
it's not
starts
really
all
that
the time.
old. It's only in 1937.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Well,
right.
no, but I mean, I think in 1937, that by that point, I think that they were pretty reliable. At least
yeah.
Bonnie and Clyde thought so.
Yeah.
There's a 34.
Well, it still had a flathead V8 in it.
Oh yeah, and he actually. Clyde actually wrote a note to Henry
Henry,
Ford saying, "Thank you very much. It's so reliable. I can outrun all of the
police
police
vehicle.
cars." Yeah,
And
exactly.
who was what president used Al Capone's
Roosevelt?
confiscated vehicle for his parade?
Roosevelt.
Yeah, because
I drove in that car.
Did you?
Yeah, John O'Quinn bought that car, and we found out that the son of the painter who painted the car the original Chicago colors, which was green with black fenders, and he had a siren, and when they went through the streets, they thought it was a police car, okay, and had a fold-down back window. He actually had that car, and we found that the son of the painter was still alive, and the son of the painter was looking for that car, for reminiscence.
Yeah.
And we found him, and John flew him in to Houston to identify the car, and he said the car was perfect except one thing was wrong, and the trunk, which is actually a trunk on the back of the car, was bolted to the trunk holder. And he said, that's not correct. And we said, why? He said, because in the day,
could take
when you
the trunk
pulled up,
off.
you went to the bellhop and you pulled up in front of the hotel, and they would take the trunk to your room.
Right. It was an accessory.
Accessory, exactly. And he said that should be unbolted. And he actually drove in the car, and tears came to his eyes. He said, I remember I was a young child. I was sweeping the floor in my father's paint shop in Chicago, and a big guy came in with two bigger guys on either side of him. And he looked at me and he said, who are you? And he said, I'm Dad's, son, John's son. And he took money out of a $5 bill out of his pocket, and he gave it to me. He said $5 in the
It was a lot
day.
of
It was
money
a lot
back,
of money.
yeah.
And he said, I remember it because my mother bought me my first set of knickers.
Oh.
And he said, because everyone wore knickers, and he just had long pants because knickers were, more
The end
expensive.
thing, right.
So, and he identified it, and he just loved it. And yes, it did have the fold down back window, and there was about 3 inches of glass, bulletproof glass on the windows, and there was a.
Where is that car today?
It was sold to a gentleman in Ohio, so I don't know. I haven't found out where.
There were rumors of secret compartments with weapons and things in
On the back of the driver's front seat, there was a
glove box compartment type.
something like that, which was long for a gun.
Were there secret compartments for money?
No,
Kind of
for-
like Lakewood Church?
No, it was. It was. Yeah, I just heard about that. It was for guns, long guns, for the window, the rear window folded down, and it had the siren, and it was painted. The colors of the police department at that time, Chicago Police, so they
Interesting.
could go through
Yeah.
the streets.
Well, when O'Quinn was alive and he had this absolutely stunning collection of cars, he actually, was it the Astrodome or was it Reliance Stadium, now NRG Stadium, that he actually pretty much had his own show where he showed his own cars.
Yes.
I don't recall which one it was, but clearly it was a collection that no longer exists because after he died, all those cars were sold off.
Yeah.
Auction, yeah. We'll never see them again. It was a shame. I was in charge of giving tours of his showroom on Hempstead Highway, and it was only 300 cars. He had over 1,000 cars. Some of them were stored right near the Astrodome.
Yeah.
Okay, in a couple of warehouses. And he would call up, the mechanic, Joe, and he said, Joe, Darla and I are going Friday to an event at, the Hilton, and I want to pull up in the LaSalle town car. And okay, Mr. Quinn, Quinn, we'll get it ready, and of course it was ready. Okay, he had so many cars and so many wonderful memories of history. Baseball. People who had cars that were baseball legends, music legends, cowboy cars, movie stars' cars. Just amazing.
Well, it may be unfair to say, but I would like to think that Jay Leno has amassed a collection similar to that. Not like it, but similar to it in the fact that there's every kind of make and model car that you could possibly think of, and it continues to grow. Jay Leno's collection.
Well, we asked Jay Leno's mechanic, or Jay Leno, in fact, I called him. John had a Stanley Steamer.
Yes.
And we couldn't get it running because you need to be a certified Boilermaker to work on that car. And we understand that Jay had a Stanley Steamer.
Yeah, a steam engine of some sort.
Well, it was a Stanley Steamer.
Was it?
Yeah. And no speed limit. As long as you could provide enough steam like a locomotive, it would go forever.
It would go, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it would go 200 miles an hour if you could keep the wheels on it. And we borrowed Jay's mechanic. We flew him out, and he had the thing running in about a day. We thanked him. And then Jay contacted me because I wanted him. I contacted Jay to be Grand Marshal at Keels and Wheels. And he looked into it and he said, Ron, I know the airport, Hobby Airport. I know we can land there. The problem is, Ron, I do a show in Las Vegas, and I can't not miss that show.
Right.
And because Keels and Wheels is on a weekend, I couldn't. So
right. Yeah, he has an obligation a contractual obligation that he had to be there and couldn't do it.
Well,
right.
and he also is very interested in my Nash, the Woody.
If you need another Grand Marshal celebrity type, you got,
Well, we thought
Don.
about Don, but, he
Yeah.
has this radio show, and he's expert in Corvettes.
Nothing. In absolutely nothing. Yeah. Except giving people a hard time.
That's fine. No problem.
Yeah.
I like
hard time king. All right. Let's see.
Where are we?
I want to do this story, and a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this story at the top of the next hour, because it is truly fascinating. At least I think it is, and I think that you'll be interested in it as well.
And we've got auto history, and I'm going to pass this to Mike when that happens.
Okay. Here's one story that I do want to get in. Bobby Mays, Charles Gooch, and Courtney Wells were found guilty of charges, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud and multiple counts of wire fraud, forgery, and aggravated identity theft. Federal jury in November convicted the Oklahoma dealership owner and former comptroller of using fraud to fool finance companies into issuing auto loans to consumers who might have been denied otherwise. U.S. Attorney's Office said November 22nd that sentencing would occur in about 90 days. They are going up the river for being bad business people.
Like financial fraud.
They own Big Red Sports Imports and Big Red Kia up in Oklahoma. Hoo-wee.
You're going to have a red ass after that.
So to speak. Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. All right. I do want to, let me do one more story. General Motors expects full-year adjusted pre-tax profits will reach about $14 billion higher than the previous forecast, according to CFO Paul Jacobson. GM had previously forecast full-year adjusted pre-tax profits at $11.5 billion to $13.5 billion. Jacobson said GM's financial performance is benefiting from strong consumer demand, high prices for new vehicles, and more stability in supplies of semiconductors. Okay. Jacobson cautioned that supplies of semiconductors and GM's vehicle production won't get back to normal until late 2022. GM's inventories of vehicles at dealerships won't get back to normal anytime soon. All right. Well, that's it for this hour. Quick break now. We'll be right back. You are on the In Wheel Time Car Show.
It's a very special Christmas Tailpipes and Tacos Car Cruise In, Saturday, December 18th at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Bring a toy for Star of Hope and have breakfast on us. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, and Best Modern Classic. It's the Great Christmas Cruise In on Saturday, December 18th, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this one brings it all together for Star of Hope in a Toys for Breakfast Christmas special. Bring a toy and get a free Loopy Tortilla breakfast, plus trophies for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, and Best Modern Classic. It all happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for a very special Christmas cruise in Loopy style. It's Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, December 18th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Let's celebrate the Christmas season together at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Toys for a free Loopy breakfast, Saturday, December 18th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. If you're in charge of your company's small, medium, or large business anywhere in the U.S., let the On Hold Company help you retain customers and promote your business on your telephone system. Promote special sales or company info when placed on hold. The On Hold Company provides custom on-hold messages with professional male or female voices, licensed background music with no long-term contract, no monthly recurring bill, and updates your messages as needed. Call the On Hold Company at 713-223-HOLD or go to onhold.net. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.